Welcome to the deep dive. You gave us a really fascinating stack of sources this time. A conversational, very personal exploration into the world of swimming.
Yeah, it really is.
We're not just talking about, getting in the water. We're going to be dissecting health, culture, and even conquering some childhood fears.
That's right. The source material is fantastic because it's just so relatable. Our mission today is to move beyond sort of a surface level appreciation and synthesize the key insights across three areas.
Okay.
First, its function as a superior tool for physical health,
Mm-hmm.
then its significance as a cultural and safety requirement, and finally, the unexpected lessons from the personal journey of learning, or maybe not learning, perfect technique.
Absolutely. We're aiming for the deep end here. So let's start with the hard data because the sources are very convincing. Swimming is, well, it's hailed as a genuinely superior form of exercise.
It really is.
When we look at fitness, the primary benefit, the one everyone points to, is its cardio payoff.
Precisely. And we all, we understand that cardio works the heart muscle. But what's crucial to grasp about swimming is how it gets that benefit without the mechanical shock you see in other activities.
Right, and that's where the advantage over something like running becomes so obvious. The source really emphasizes the profound ease on the joints.
This is the real long-term fitness cheat code, I think. When you run, you are dealing with gravity just pressing down on your knees, your ankles, your hips.
All those areas that bend.
Exactly, the joints. That consistent high-impact stress over years, it can lead to chronic discomfort, especially if your form isn't perfect.
But the water just supports you. You lose that pressure.
Correct. You get the cardiovascular work, the elevated heart rate, all of that. But the water's buoyancy just dramatically reduces the force on those joints. It's an ideal way to maintain fitness, really.
But hold on, couldn't you get that same joint benefit from, say, cycling? What makes swimming unique in terms of how it develops the body?
That's a great question. What differentiates swimming is the constant resistance. Unlike air, water is, I think, about 12 times denser.
Wow, 12 times.
So when you're moving through it, you're getting a significant resistance workout on every single movement. It's not just cardio, it's resistance training for your entire body.
And that's why the sources are so keen to call it a true full-body workout. We're not just working the legs like you would in running.
Not at all. We're talking about massive muscle groups that often get neglected. The back muscles, upper and lower, are constantly working. And critically, your core is working overtime.
And when we say core, we're not just thinking of like a six-pack. The sources make it clear we need to think a bit deeper.
Yes, we mean the entire barrel of your body. Swimming requires constant stability to stay horizontal in the water, which forces you to engage your deep abdominal muscles, the obliques on your sides, the whole lower back.
We're twisting and reaching all at once.
Exactly. It's a level of functional strength that, honestly, very few other exercises can deliver so efficiently.
And speaking of efficiency, the source flags something as particularly unique, the demands on the respiratory system.
This is fascinating. Swimming forces you into these controlled, disciplined breathing patterns.
Uh-huh.
You can't just, gasp for air whenever you want.
Right, you have to time it with your stroke.
You have to synchronize your breath to your movement. And this constant controlled breathing is an exercise in itself. It trains your diaphragm, increases lung capacity. But there's a wider effect too.
How so?
By focusing on that deep, rhythmic exhale underwater, you're actually activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Studies have linked this to lowering stress, improving heart rate variability. So swimming isn't just physically tough, it's inherently regulating, calming even.
It's like a workout that forces meditation.
Anyway, yeah.
That need for breath control and, just general competence in the water leads us directly to why so many kids start swimming in the first place. Safety. It's an abrupt shift, but a necessary one.
Absolutely. The urgency highlighted in the sources about kids learning to swim young is paramount because it's fundamentally about preventing accidents.
And for parents in the U.S. enrolling children in swimming classes, it often starts incredibly young. It's driven by that desire for competency, maybe even more than the health benefits we just talked about.
The underlying threat, as the sources point out, is drowning. It's about mitigating the risk associated with, say, rough or turbulent water. It is a critical foundational life skill.
And that journey starts with getting rid of the training wheels, or in this case, the floaties or water wings.
Precisely. Those little inflatable things on a kid's arms, they're temporary. The real goal is achieving independent mobility and, more importantly, confidence in the water.
It's a huge milestone.
A huge psychological milestone, yeah. It signals the child can navigate the water without help.
And the sources are quick to remind us that this isn't just for kids. The benefit extends to adults who never learned. I mean, if you find yourself in an unexpected situation, that ability to just stay afloat could be vital.
And once we connect that safety focus to the broader cultural picture, we see how the skill just transitions into pure recreation. Once you have that basic competency, swimming becomes fun. It becomes a massive cultural activity in the U.S.
The sources introduced the perfect slang for this. To chill. Just hanging out, relaxing in the water, not really training.
And this focus on chilling is really enabled by something the source points out about U.S. homes. It notes that it's pretty common for houses to have backyard swimming pools.
That is a big cultural difference. In a lot of other countries, a private pool is a huge luxury.
A total rarity, yeah. Reserved for mansions or the very wealthy.
Yeah.
But in the U.S., especially in warmer areas, that commonality means the pool becomes this social anchor. It's why pool parties are such a widespread, frequent thing in the summer.
So the water isn't a destination you have to travel to, it's just
No.
right there.
It's a home amenity that kind of dictates how neighborhoods socialize. It's a shift from swimming as exercise or survival to swimming as just a backdrop for having fun.
Let's pivot now to the personal narrative, because this is where the source really comes alive. We have a speaker who took swimming lessons around age 4 or 5, right when most kids do.
And despite the safety reasons we just discussed, the source is really blunt about it. The lessons were hated. The speaker just felt uncomfortable with the organized classes being separated from their parents.
It really speaks to the complexity of learning this skill. I mean, it can feel like a chore or even be a bit traumatic for a young kid.
But the truly specific, lingering fear, it wasn't the water itself. It was the diving board.
Ah, yes, that long rectangular thing hanging over the water. The source remembers this intense nervousness about having to walk out and jump off. It became a symbol of required bravery.
Is a powerful memory. That fear, it highlights the performance anxiety of it all. You're expected to perform this jump in front of everyone, and that pressure, it really stuck with the speaker for years.
So the relationship with their own pool at home was shaped by this. Despite always having a pool, the speaker admitted to almost never just swimming back and forth for exercise.
It was for playing games with friends, a social instrument, not a fitness tool.
And that pattern of use leads us right into technique. The speaker admits they never perfected their form using different strokes.
And the word stroke here is key. It's the formal, efficient methods of moving through water, like the crawl, reststroke, backstroke.
Things that require real coordination.
Right. And because of that lack of formal dedication, the speaker relied on the ultimate fallback, doggy paddling.
We really need to unpack this because it's so important for the conclusion. Doggy paddling is literally just moving your arms and legs like a dog in the water. It's the easiest way to move, but it's incredibly inefficient.
It's survival mode. A proper stroke, like freestyle, is this beautiful chain where every muscle contributes to maximizing your distance. It's efficiency. Doggy paddling is just pure effort for very little propulsion.
And the source cites this lack of proficiency, that inability to do a comfortable, efficient stroke, as the main reason they dismissed swimming for exercise as an adult.
But the story doesn't end there, which is what I love. The adult relationship with water has softened. The speaker now finds real joy in taking their young son into the pool.
Even though it's tiring, holding him up.
And they develop this surprising preference for natural, warm water, specifically the ocean in Mexico, enjoying the waves, swimming under them or with them. It's a totally different experience from a sterile pool.
And here's the truly fascinating part of the story, this character development. The intense, crippling childhood fear of the 4-foot-high diving board, it's completely gone.
Not just gone, it has been inverted. The adult speaker now loves jumping into the water from high places. They talk about leaping off big rocks into lakes or the ocean, seeking out that very specific adrenaline rush.
So the structured fear of a required jump has morphed into the thrill of voluntarily seeking that height. It's a powerful statement about overcoming nervousness, about seeking out bravery.
So, to summarize our deep dive for you, swimming is a low-impact, resistance-based cardio powerhouse. It develops full body strength and incredible respiratory control. It's also a fundamental safety skill and a central recreational activity in U.S. culture. But critically, we see a personal journey that shows the reward of water isn't always measured in laps or perfect technique.
Right. And so, what does this all mean for you? We spent a lot of time unpacking the difference between perfected strokes for efficiency versus the low skill, high effort practicality of doggy paddling. And while technique is essential for fitness goals, the sources really suggest that sometimes the simple act, the pleasure of warm water, the rush of a jump, the joy of just chilling, that's the real reward.
Hmm.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought for reflection. If doggy paddling is the easiest, simplest way to get from point A to point B in the water when technique isn't the priority, what's your metaphorical doggy paddle in life? That simple, maybe high effort, but profoundly enjoyable path you choose when formal training isn't the goal. Something to mull over until our next deep dive.